Welcome to the 2022 PIA Member Services Program online trade show. My name is Karen Lock and I'm the National Partnership Manager here at PIA. And we have partnered with several organisations within the planning profession to join us on our Member Services Program. And we have asked them along today to just spend 15 minutes to run through their business, how it can help you as planners in your day-to-day business, and also explain the discount that they can extend to you as PIA members. So today, it is my pleasure to welcome on board Luke Branley from V2I Real Time, Michelle Bloom from the Ethics Centre, Melissa Bertoldo from Planned Cover Insurance, Adam Gendelfo and Georgie Edgerton from Land Checker, Karina Wood from Engagement Hub, and Mark Novosel from Archistar. So as you can see, there's quite a range of different organisations there. So go grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back and watch. And if you'd like to watch them at a future time, you can see them on the PIA page, PIA website page, underneath membership and partners. So please welcome along our partners, and we'd love to see you joining along throughout the year with all the initiatives that we have going with these guys. And we'd love you to jump on board and sign up with them if that's something that you think can assist your business. So please enjoy, and we look forward to working with you. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Luke Branley. I'm the founder and managing director of V2I. I'm a proud, passionate planner, and I've had the privilege of working on a number of wonderful projects over my career, both here and abroad. However, I must say that what we're going to show you today, being V2I Real Time, is without doubt the most exciting transformational opportunity and meaningful phase of my 36 years in the industry. V2I Real Time is built on the world's most powerful gaming engine, the Unreal Engine by Epic Games, which they describe as the world's most open and advanced real-time 3D creation tool. And I must admit, I completely agree. V2I Real Time harnesses this near $200 billion a year global industry and all of its knowledge and experience, and then develops specific, targeted industry outcomes to help us all solve relevant issues and challenges and deliver what we truly believe is simply a better way to do things. What's really exciting for me is the ability for these technologies to help stakeholders, whether technical or non-technical, understand the principles, policies, criteria, and placemaking outcomes that we are all trying to achieve, and to do it in a way that we've never been able to do before. So enough from me. How about we show you some of what we've achieved over the past 6 or so years, working with some remarkable people on a range of exceptional projects with one common goal, and that is to simply get to a better outcome faster. So let's take a look.
V2I Real Time aims to provide an independent approach that helps facilitate the many and varied, and sometimes complex, challenging, and often political stakeholder issues that projects sometimes present, and then to help bring that together into a real-time virtual web environment that enables all stakeholders' options, opinions, and suggested outcomes to be understood in a more equitable process that ultimately enables more informed, meaningful discussions, leading to faster and more appropriate decisions. It doesn't mean that everyone must agree with an outcome. The important thing is that everyone's options and alternatives are clearly presented and understood without errors, omissions and misunderstandings, or reliance on third-party interpretations, which can unfortunately sometimes be biased. V2I Real Time is all about representing an outcome in a common visual language that is understood by all from day one in the project lifecycle. It's about creating a very easy-to-use virtual accessible, immersive, connected, spatially accurate web-based 3D digital twin of the subject site by utilising, integrating, and visually displaying the vast amount of existing data, and then inputting and creating new data, which often has already been procured and utilised for other tasks at key milestones, out of which an extraordinary amount of experiences, output, and value can flow. For governments, it's more about trust, more transparency, and more meaningful public and stakeholder engagement, particularly to help decision making, whether this is for budgets, development approval, or community consultation, so as to ensure that these major infrastructure projects can build public support. But importantly, appropriate funding and approval so that these major projects can start and employment commence, which is such a critical part of our post-COVID-19 recovery journey. For our private sector development clients, it's all around improving the approval process, reducing project risk, and bringing forward the sales cycle. It's about not only helping decision makers understand spaces and places virtually now, but also importantly, getting through that process as quickly as possible to save time and, of course, money. And then for our consultants, giving them a better tool to help their clients understand their proposed outcomes as quickly as possible, and importantly, the value and expertise they bring, and then ensuring that decisions are made quickly and effectively without the need for quite often unpaid variations. Without doubt, one of the most incredible features of the Unreal Engine is its ability to ingest any form of data, both existing as well as new, and bring that together into a very easy to use and understand web browser accessible outcome to any consumer device. The real industry leap change is that we can now deliver these incredibly large-scale, immersive, real-time environments via the web to a tablet or smartphone with reasonable internet connection. This will change and dramatically improve community consultation, stakeholder engagement, virtual collaboration, and general decision-making throughout the entire project lifecycle, forever. Utilising the incredible power and capabilities of the Cesium world terrain, we can quickly explore and understand the region and the site's relationship to its surroundings as close or as far as you want to go. Another exciting breakthrough is the ability to access Google APIs, which provides a treasure trove of data, such as the opportunity to identify key regional destinations. We can create a series of predetermined filters that will help us locate a variety of the surrounding relevant facilities, which will help facilitate the appropriate planning of the subject site. Likewise, Google's search function can be incorporated, such as this example, where we are looking to locate the airports close by, and then the drive time to a particular airport. We can tap into and access the extraordinary amounts of GIS and public data and bring them into the scene at the push of a button, including a variety of base data. Additionally, various notes can be made, and importantly geo-referenced, so that more detailed site inspection can occur as required. A wide range of additional feature sets can be included to assist with understanding the broad community creation principles, such as, in this particular case, walkable catchments. These can be easily dragged and dropped to help all stakeholders understand the impact these have on space planning and creating these communities. To further assist with space planning and understanding of the general size of the site and its scale, we are also able to drag and drop a series of predetermined reference sites, which provides some understanding of how the subject site compares to other well-known sites of a similar outcome anywhere in the world. Again, our fundamental goal here is to help non-technical stakeholders understand the reality of spatial requirements and how that impacts their subject site. We have the ability to integrate with Google and then go and visit those subject sites in 3D or indeed Google Street View to enable more informed conversations around how these particular sites might impact the space planning of our subject site. As with everything we're trying to do, it's simply around enabling all stakeholders to have a more informed, equitable and enjoyable conversation, which leads to more informed decisions to help fast-track an outcome. Virtual collaboration can also further assist with a wide variety of almost endless tools such as the height tool, distance measurement tool, radius tool, area measurement tool, shadow tool, and many more. 8K perspectives can be generated in a matter of seconds, and 4K animations in a matter of minutes. Our goal is to achieve an agreed outcome via a virtual collaboration experience amongst a variety of stakeholders and decision makers within just a few hours, which traditionally may have taken many days or even weeks of meetings with all the associated costs.
Well, there you have it. As I mentioned earlier, after 36 years in this industry, this is by far the most exciting and uplifting opportunity that I've ever been involved with. And I sincerely hope that we've captured your imagination and provided you with some confidence to at least consider the opportunities that these technologies present and the problems that they can solve, and hopefully encourage you to take those first steps. I also hope that this presentation has got the cogs turning and provided enough information to ignite your excitement and interest in being part of this real-time revolution. We'd love to hear from you and would love you to be part of this journey with us to help transform and improve this industry that we're all so passionate about. So in closing, I'll take this opportunity to wish you all well and all the very best with your various endeavours and aspirations in your professional careers. Thank you again for your time and your interest. Take care. Cheers.
Absolutely delighted this afternoon to welcome Marissa Bertoldo to our Member Services Program online trade show. Marissa is the marketing manager at Planned Cover and has been a valued partner with PIA through the years. So we're delighted that we can now have this opportunity for you to have a chat with us, Marissa, and tell us more about Planned Cover. So welcome. And Marissa will then be doing some screen sharing with us. So we'll just go from there. But welcome, Marissa. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Karen, and thank you for asking us to be part of the PIA Trade Show for 2022. I have prepared a few slides just to let your members know, if they don't already, of Planned Cover and who we are and what we offer, and also the benefits for PIA members. So perhaps we shall launch straight into that.
Indeed.
Okay, so who is Planned Cover? Planned Cover provides risk management services, support and education to its clients across three main areas of service. We do insurance placement, commercial insurances such as professional indemnity, management liability, and general and personal insurance products. We also have a risk management department who provides presentations, practice notes, online CPD education and contract review service, where they will advise members of any uninsured clauses contained within consultancy agreements for our professional indemnity insurance clients. These contract reviews are carried out by legally qualified risk managers. We also offer claims management and assistance, and that's done by our in-house claims managers who are also legally qualified staff. Planned Cover's parent company is IBL Limited. IBL Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Australian Institute of Architects. Planned Cover was established in 1974, which means that we're 2 years shy of our 50th anniversary. So that's almost 50 years of expertise and experience. We've seen many insurance market cycles and been part of an evolving industry. IBL's subsidiary companies are Planned Cover, the insurance brokers and insurance partners of PIA, Focus Underwriting, informed by Planned Cover, which is our risk management division, offering online CPD education and seminars. Informed Lawyers, which provides legal advice in the specialist area of consultancy agreements. And Planned Life Cover, which is the brand we created to sell insurances, life insurances. These products are provided to us by Steadfast Life under their Australian Financial Services Licence. Planned Cover offers a wide range of commercial, construction and general insurances. On this slide, we have listed the products most suited to your profession. So we have professional indemnity insurance, which is the most popular product amongst planners and many construction professionals. General public liability insurance, business insurance, management liability, travel, cyber insurance, which has been on the rise over the last few years due to a lot more cyber crime, design and construct professional indemnity, and then we have the life insurances that are provided by Steadfast Life, such as group salary continuance, income protection, and keyman insurance. And there are a few more that you'll see on our website. We also offer general insurances such as car and home and contents. And if you or your family invest in property, we also offer landlord and strata insurance. So why have we partnered with PIA? Having partnered with our chosen associations for many years, we have a fairly good understanding of building industry associations and their members. Whenever possible, we support our associations over and above our initial financial commitment by providing insurance advice, news content, events and sponsorships, as well as discounted rates for their members to attend continuing professional development opportunities. Planned Cover is proud of its numerous industry association partnerships, including, of course, the Planning Institute, the Australian Institute of Architects, Association of Consulting Architects, Consult Australia, the Design Institute, and we will soon be announcing another partnership within the landscaping profession. We benefit from strength in our corporate partners. Planned Cover is a Steadfast broker and a proud member of industry associations ANZIIF and NIBA. For those of you who don't know about Steadfast, it is the largest general insurance broker network and largest group of insurance underwriting agencies in Australia, with growing operations in Asia and Europe. As a Steadfast network broker, we have access to member services not usually available to smaller brokers, such as modelling and compliance tools, checklists and procedure manuals and training, legal advice, technical support, banking and recruitment advice and assistance, group insurance arrangements, product comparison and placement support, claims support, and group purchasing arrangements, which translate into lower premiums for our clients. Planned Cover understands that its existence is dependent upon having great staff, professional suppliers, and most of all, loyal clients. We believe that as a successful business, we should be giving something back to the industry and our communities. We do this within our company by valuing diversity and equal rights. We take regular time out together as a team to celebrate our corporate and individual successes and milestones, and we share in lessons learned. We also get involved in fundraising events and activities such as the Cancer Council Morning Teas, Coast Trek, and other worthy causes. Externally, we make 2 financial contributions at the end of each year to a not-for-profit charity or charities, which are carefully researched and voted by staff. We also make donations to charities who have assisted our clients through their own personal challenges when we become aware of such situations. We voluntarily teach and mentor and present at student events through universities and associations. These are just some of the ways we can give back and hopefully make a difference to the lives of people who are less fortunate. So, what's in it for PIA members? We have a few discounts available for PIA members, $100 off any new professional indemnity policy, $50 off other insurances, and an ongoing 15% discount on webinars through Informed by Planned Cover. Professional indemnity insurance clients also have free access to practice guides and a number of free contract reviews, which are the insurance reviews of consultancy agreements. We have valued and appreciated the support PIA has given us and our long-standing partnership, which stretches back many years. Planned Cover is here to help mitigate any risk in your professional and personal lives, and we sincerely hope that PIA members have taken advantage of these benefits. We would like to thank PIA and its members for their support over the many years of our partnership. So please contact us if you have questions or even just to have a general discussion about your insurance or any other risk needs. That's our Planned Cover website.com.au, and we have offices in every state. So on the website, you'll be able to find the contact details for all those offices and more information in our product offering, of course. And there's also an online proposal form for you to fill in if you'd like to, and have one of our account managers contact you and start the insurance conversation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the PIA Trade Show 2022.
Hi, my name is Adam Gandolfo. I'm the CEO of Landchecker. My colleague Georgie, who will take over from me shortly to showcase Landchecker to you, and myself are thrilled to have the opportunity to present Landchecker to the Planning Institute of Australia today, and hope that you find this session helpful and informative. Before I pass across to Georgie, I'm going to briefly introduce Landchecker and tell you a little bit about our story as a business. Landchecker is a technology business focused on providing accurate property data in a single place for timely decision-making and data-driven insight. The business was founded in 2016 by two Melbourne-based architects, Will Leaf and Toby Hewitt of Hewitt Leaf, together with a local property developer, Ed Farquharson of Moda. The problem they were trying to solve in the early days was a simple one we're sure many of you have experienced before in your day-to-day jobs. When Will, Ed and Toby sought advice from town planners on client projects or properties, too often they were visiting too many different clunky portals or sites to access the information they needed. This became a source of frustration for them and their colleagues, who needed to access accurate information quickly to win a client or just as part of their day-to-day work activities. Not long after, Landchecker as an idea, and soon thereafter a MVP product was born. Pleasingly, many of the early adopters of Landchecker were prominent town planners and urban designers, hopefully some of you are listening today, equally recognising the problem that they had faced, and in turn turning to a solution like Landchecker as a better alternative. Fast forward several years to today, Landchecker is truly a fast-growing, leading Australian technology business seeking to best service Australians' property professionals. Today we're backed by major businesses including PEXA and RACV, and count thousands of town planners and urban designers among our Landchecker customers and members, a trend we hope to grow, hopefully with many of you here today. And in a small way, we see Landchecker, or we see ourselves, as an extension of your industry group as you seek to fulfil your mission. We firmly believe better, accurate, democratised information on property aids better property design and decision making, and ultimately better planning outcomes. We recognise property is unique in this country, as are many of the people who work in the industry, and they need to be empowered with the best information to deliver the best possible outcomes, whether it be more equitable housing outcomes, greater local amenity, or preservation of the environment and surrounds. We truly believe planners can shape greatly both the built and natural environments we all wish to enjoy, ensuring they have the tools to do so is absolutely important. Anyway, that's enough from me today. On behalf of the Land Checker team, thank you again for the opportunity to speak with the PIA today. We hope you find this presentation from Georgie shortly interesting and helpful, and hope to wish many of you on board Land Checker in the future. I'll now pass across to Georgie for a virtual demonstration. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to tune in today to learn about Land Checker. My name is Georgie and I'm the Operations Manager here at Land Checker. I'm going to take you through a 10-minute demonstration of the application, showcasing the professional functionality and how it might help you with your work as a planner. A quick note on coverage: Land Checker is currently available in Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia and Tasmania. Western Australia is coming soon. Before we do jump in, I would just like to flag the offer that's available for all PIA members. As a member, you are eligible for a free 10-day trial to Land Checker Professional, and you'll also receive a 10% discount on all professional plans. To find our application, head to app.landchecker.com.au. I'll firstly give you a quick tour of how Land Checker is laid out. We have the search bar on the top left corner, where you can search by a range of options including address, lot number and coordinates. The circle icons down the left-hand side is where you can change the map layers, access planning information and some more advanced functionality which we will go through in the demonstration. In the corner is where we can switch our map type from base map, which we're in now, to standard or high resolution aerial imagery. Moving over to the right-hand side, we have your profile. This is where you can manage your account, onboard your team and update your preferences. And lastly, we have our map function tools, including measuring, area and exporting. I'm now going to put myself in the shoes of a planner wanting to conduct some research on a property. Today I've selected a random property in Elsternwick, Victoria. Start by typing in our address and the property panel will open up on the right-hand side. In this panel there are a range of property details including the approximate land size, frontage and orientation of the block. These details are calculated by Land Checker based on the cadastral map. The remaining property details, including attributes and recent sale price, are sourced through our partnership with CoreLogic. Under planning information, you can see this property is in a neighbourhood residential zone and has a heritage overlay and special building overlay. If you need to refer to the VPP or LPP schedule, you simply click this link and it will open the attachment directly. The latest planning permit or development application will also be displayed here. Premium property reports can be accessed by clicking View Report. You can email, download or customise your reports from here. The property reports summarise the information available in the right-hand side panel in a nice, easy to read PDF report. It will also detail more comprehensive information that isn't available in the map view. For example, property identifiers including lot plan, SPI and council property number. The report also includes recent and proposed planning scheme amendments and nearby planning permits or DAs that might impact the subject property. Reports are an excellent way to share critical information with your clients in an easy to read format. You can add your logo to the top of these reports, which I'll demonstrate for you now. Head to your profile and select Business Account, click the Preferences tab and upload your logo. Now, every PDF report downloaded or emailed by a member of your business account will have the logo on it. To save a property to a project, click Save, and then either choose an existing project or create a new one. Projects allows you to save properties to then visualise on the map, collaborate on with your team members, and export for further use or analysis. As a planner, you may wish to save all properties that you advise on to a project so you can quickly do a visualised conflict check when you're taking on a new client project. To visualise your project on the map, select it from under the project's icon. All properties in this project will be visible on the map with a black marker. For a more comprehensive view of your project, select projects from your profile. Here you can share your projects with members of your team, view properties on the map, export project properties, add notes, and attach documents. We've got lots of new functionality for projects in the pipeline, so keep an eye out. I'm now going to move across to some of the data layers available under our due diligence icon. Here you can activate the planning zones or overlays on the map. This is useful for gaining context on the property and the surrounding area, particularly when you are overlaying multiple datasets. You can select municipalities to see council borders, turn on postcode borders, and other useful data layers including topography and digitised easements. Landchecker sources planning permit or development application data directly from each council and is updated daily. Consolidating this information into our application saves our members time trying to source directly through council platforms. The most recent permit is visualised with a traffic light system: green for approved, orange for pending, and red for rejected. Simply hover over a property to view the information on the permit. If there are historic permits on the property, there will be a link to view more. We introduced filters to make it easier to find the permit information that's most relevant to you. You can apply filters on the permit data by date received, outcome date, and keywords. Planning permit data in Landchecker is a great way to check approved and rejected permits to get a feel for what's going on nearby your client's property. Planners may wish to filter this data to look for planning permit precedents. I'll quickly give you an example by looking for approved permits in the last year with a heritage overlay. Permit alerts allows you to create alerts to be notified when there are new or updated planning permits around your property or suburb of interest. Here, I'm activating an alert for all permit activity around the subject property in Elsternwick. Once the alert has been activated, you will receive an email either daily or weekly, depending on your preference, with all the permit activity in your area of interest. I'm now going to show you our high-resolution aerial imagery. The imagery layer is activated through the map type on the bottom left of the screen. This imagery available on Landchecker is provided by Aerometrics, and imagery is typically updated 3 to 4 times per year in metro areas. You can browse through the historical imagery library using the drop-down menu here on the bottom right corner, or the sliding scale along the bottom. It's a great way to get an understanding of how a property or area has changed over time. There are a number of measuring tools available here on the right-hand side of your screen. What's unique about accessing imagery on Landchecker is that you can layer other data over the imagery. The next feature I'm going to go through is the title and document search functionality. There are a couple of different ways to order documents directly on Landchecker, which I'll take you through now. The easiest way to order a copy of the title is directly on the mapping interface through the panel here on the right-hand side. You can also place an order by selecting the Document Searches tab. Here you can do more advanced searches, including company searches. Through the Title Searches tab, you can search by a range of criteria other than the address, including lot plan and volume folio. The Standard Searches tab is a great alternative if you already have the plan number or instrument number, which you can paste directly into the relevant product and add to your cart. Once you've ordered your documents, they will be emailed to you, and you'll also receive an in-app notification. You can view your team's previously searched documents in your order manager. Here, you are able to view the status of your orders, as well as download a copy of your documents by going into the order and selecting Download. The final tool that I'll demonstrate today is Site Finder, which is a way for you to discover sites that match advanced search criteria. Site Finder will search every site in a state, which you can narrow down with the filters you can see here on the left-hand side. I'll do an example looking around Elsternwick. Filtering by suburbs, I'll include Elsternwick, St Kilda East, Caulfield North, and Balaclava. Filtering with land size between 500 and 1,000 square metres. I'd like to include properties in a general res zone and also show properties that have a heritage overlay. Once we have completed our search, we can then save the search, export the results, or save the results to a project. There are a number of different uses for SiteFinder. Planners have typically used the SiteFinder functionality to look for similar sites when advising clients. So that concludes the demonstration today. Hopefully this has given you an overview of the Landchecker application. Our goal is to provide you with the platform to access property data in one place for faster, insight-driven decisions. As I mentioned at the beginning of this demonstration, Landchecker offers all PIA members a free 10-day trial to Landchecker Professional, and you can also receive a 10% discount on professional plans when you join. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out using the live in-app support, or you can email us at support@landchecker.com.au. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
And now it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Mark Novosel from Archistar to give you a little explanation on Archistar and how they can help you. Thanks, Mark.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark. What I'm going to do is give you a quick overview of the Archistar property platform and what that can do for your business as a town planner. So over on the right-hand side, we've got our data layers. So first up here, we've got Nearmap, which you might be familiar with already. We give you full access to the latest Nearmap aerial imagery. So this image was taken on the 1st of February down the bottom. So you can see it's very current, very up to date, and also high resolution. You can zoom right in there and do all your work that way really quickly and easily. Plus through Archistar, there's no additional data charges, so we don't pass on those costs. So basically you can use it all day, every day freely. We also created Australia's largest zoning database. So we've aggregated data from over 25,000 different sources into one package here. So it's all color-coded based on zone. As you zoom in, you can also see what zone you're working in. So labels will pop up, and then you can just click on a site. You'll get all your data right here on one screen. So what it does is it pulls in all the zoning and planning information for you. No need to go through council websites, state planning portals, or anything like that. Right off here, you see your lot area, what zone you're in, Central Coast Council, your FSR, maximum building height, minimum lot size for subdivisions. So all your key information is right here. If you click on full details, you'll see more information about setbacks, when each of those setbacks would be applying, so front, rear, and sides. Plus any of these arrows you can expand, and it will give you a little blurb for each value and show you when that value is applicable. Plus we also have a deep link here which will take you straight into the government planning website, legislation New South Wales in this case, and you can verify those values and just get all the full details on the context. Right, so that's all the planning values right there for you. We can also specify the planning source. So if we go to filter here, by default for New South Wales, it'll pick the DCP and the relevant LEP. You can also tick all sources. That will give you every possible value for that site. So you get a lot more information that way as well. So you can sort through those and see which one is applicable. Or you can simplify things. In some cases, you may want to apply the SEP, like the CDC code, for example. So you can put those on there and then update the values. What that will do is it will adjust any of the setbacks required for CDC compliance, and then it will show you what can be done within that code. So that's updated those values for me. So I'm just going to go back to all sources. Right, so that's all your planning information. The other major part of the information here is the overlays and references. So if you click on that, it will show you basically any other applicable values for that site. So we have things like acid sulfate soils. We've got a koala management area. So that's a very big one. A lot of developers have been asking for. Obviously, flora and fauna overlays will dictate what can and can't be done with the site. And we do also have some flooding on this site as well. So probable maximum flood level. What I'll show you now is also the flood layer here. So we do also have the flooding overlay. So you can see it's a little bit of flooding across this site. If you zoom out, you can see where there's more severe flooding towards the water there near the bay. And what we can also overlay is the detailed contours. So here you can see that's definitely a low-lying area. So no surprises, that's where the flood-prone area is. If you go further up the hill, you can see it's a lot steeper. And if you zoom in, you can see across this side here, there's about 3 meters elevation difference across the site. So flooding along with the contours gives you a lot of information about the context of what you're working with, how steep the site is, how much it's going to cost to redevelop, and what sort of cut and fill requirements would be there as well. The other one we've got on here is bushfire. So that's a very important one. Any fire-prone land will be coloured with this orange overlay as well. Once again, if you've got the contours on, you'll often see that fire-prone land goes hand in hand with the steep terrain as well. So you can see all of that there. The other big one here is heritage. So we can show you any heritage listed properties. So there's a few along here. So if I click on this one, for example, what it will do is it'll give you a great big warning here saying this property is heritage listed. And then under the overlays and references, it will show you what type of heritage listing it's got. So this one's a heritage item, which means you wouldn't be able to knock this one down. If it's a heritage conservation area, we'll specify that as well. So that's a bit less restrictive. But once again, you need to be mindful of what you can and can't do in those areas. So what we do is we give you access to all this information right here. So once again, no need to be going through multiple different sources to get access to all of this. Another great one that we've got here is the 3D terrain. So this layer works with Nearmap. So what this will do is it will give you a visual indication of how steep the site is. And if we go into 3D view down the bottom here, zoom in, you can just get a sense of where the high points, where the low points on a site are. A lot of developers love this feature because it'll show them if there's any potential views on a site, how steep it is, once again, where the flood prone areas are. You can even overlay your flood data on here so you can get a good visual. Yep, that's the low lying area. That's flood prone land down there. If you're up further on the hill, there's still a little bit of flooding, maybe overland flows here, but you're more into clear up here. So that's a really useful layer that we've added recently. You can also see out towards the mountains, the valleys, all of that will be there for you. So I have a few other layers on here as well, which are useful to have a look at. So I'll just turn off the Nearmap so it doesn't clutter too much. You can just turn on as many of these layers as you like to build up a picture of what you're working with. Down here, we've got, so what other one here? So 3D maximum building height. So this one is your planning envelopes. It'll show you how high you can go in a certain area. Along with the 3D buildings layer, this one is really useful because you can see something like this one here, where they've actually exceeded the maximum building height. So if someone set a precedent in this area, then there's a good chance that council is happy to work with you. Your client might be able to achieve something higher than the maximum as well. Right, so a lot of information here. Next thing I'll show you is the filters. So you probably won't be using this too often. It's mainly for developers when they're looking for sites, but I do have some clients who also want to use filters to help their developers look for sites. So let's say you want to find a site that is maybe 2,000 up to 3,000 square meters. And what I'll do is I'll go back into 2D view, orient it to north. This will show me any site that is within that view and meets my filtered requirements. You can also limit it to a certain zone. So I might want, say, an R1 general residential. Okay, so that's limited down to a few less sites. From here, we can then pick one of these sites and we can have a look at it. It'll pull up your planning controls here for that property. What we can then do is we can generate some designs for buildings and run a feasibility. What I'll do is go to my designer here, generate some designs. And what we can do is, let's say we're doing townhouses on this site here. So what I'll do is put some values in here for you. So it's picked up your front, rear, and sides automatically. So there's a secondary on here, there's a side. Actually, this one's got 3 frontages. If you wanted to use all 3 of those, you could. So road width, so this is for your internal roads and paths. So it's a small site, I'm not going to bother with paths. For your lot area, you can specify up to 5 different lot sizes for townhouses if you wanted to. I'm just going to stick with the one here. And multiple values, so we've got a few different options here. So I'm just going to go with the first value on here. Let's make things easy. So I've got 0.9 and the rear will go 0.9. So for your lot design, we can specify if we're doing attached or detached. So it gives you a few options there. And maximum connected dwellings, a lot of people might want either connected townhouses or standalone, so you can specify those as well. Front lot offset, sides, all of those values can be configured. Your boundaries, you can adjust those as well. Under the advanced section, there's a few more options if you want above ground or underground car parking, depending on what area you're working in. And there's a few other types as well here. I'm just going to keep things simple. Hit generate and that will run through. So it'll give you a few different options after about half a minute. What that will do is it will also generate things like your shadow diagrams on the back end and also solar analysis. So you can see how many hours of winter sun each of the houses will be getting. So we can see here it's already got a few solutions and we've got 10 here. So that's my maximum. So 12 dwellings. So this is actually a really efficient design it's come up with here. So it's used both frontages, which means it doesn't actually need any internal roads. So my land use efficiency is pretty much 100% because you aren't wasting any land for driveways, which is pretty much ideal. And it's giving you building massings here as well. This one here, this one's got 11 dwellings, so slightly different configuration here with one road down the middle. So that one's a little bit less efficient, so 97%, but it's giving you one less dwelling, which means you've got larger land for each house. Go back up to the first one and we'll run through this one here. So down the left-hand side, it's got more values, more information for you. If you start up from the top, it'll start with the overview. So your lot area, your zoning, street frontage, and then you just drill down and it'll give you more granular information as you go. So building area, private open space requirements, 12 dwellings on here. This is our design set. That's what we're looking for. So 200 square meters, minimum frontage of 7. That's what it's given us. That's all your specifics for the site there. Building footprint area, total dwellings 12. You can also have a look at your 3D envelope, just making sure all the dwellings are within the planning envelope. So yep, all of that is compliant. Specifying your boundaries, so front, rear, and sides, plus your setback lines. You can see how many meters from the sides each one of those are. So we've got all that information there for you. With the environment, you can actually see, all right, so that's my sunlight there, how many hours of winter sun each house gets, and the ground shadows as well. So not too many overshadowing issues for this one. Feasibility, so we can put in our sale price. So let's say I'm going to sell those for, say, maybe 1 million each, just nice round number. So that's giving us 10.9 million less your GST. Build quality, so if you're doing a quality build, this is your cost per square meter, 1973 for this area, coming from Cordell Estimator. If you're doing an average build, that will save some money. You're looking about 1,700. You can also update these values manually, and those will include a 10% builder's margin as well, so you can zero that out. Any other fees, charges, contributions, you can add in down the bottom as well. What this will do is give you a residual land cost. So if you're aiming for a 20% profit on this project, that means you can afford to pay 5.7 million for this site. Working backwards, if this was on the market, for example, and let's say they're asking 2.5 million for this site, what this will do is it will recalculate your profit margin based on this sale price, and you'll be looking at a 50% profit based on that. If you're looking at, let's say, paying 3 million for this site, that will come down to 45%. So you can fully tailor, customize these numbers. And what you can then do is you can download a report. So these reports can be fully branded and customized with your company information, your logo, and it just pulls in all the information, the zoning, planning that I went through before, along with your designs here that you've generated, with your suburb insights, overviews, market information from domain and core logic. Then down here, you've got a comparison of 3 different solutions from your design set and your feasibility. All your numbers are there summarized on one page. That can then be downloaded as a PDF file for you, and these reports are great to give to your client. So end to end, this process will take you no more than 5 to 10 minutes, as opposed to spending hours, if not days, collating all this information, drawing up designs. What you can also do is you can export these design solutions. So let's say you like the look of this one, you can export it as a Rhino file, DXF, or GLTF. Import that into CAD then, and use that as a starting point for your full 3D modeling from there on. Finally, what I'll show you as well is under our add-ons, we have more data and information for you. So we have domain and core logic for market information. From here, you can see what's on the market. So any of these solid circles, they're actually on the market at the moment. You can see what's either recently sold. So I click on the sold, all of those are sold, and what's for rent. Suburb insights, if you have access to core logic or domain, so you'll see suburb insights here, market information over the last 12 months, either for apartments, for houses, really valuable information, giving access to all of that in one place. You also have commercial real estate. So we've got commercial listings there for you as well. And we also have market information about developments. So BCI data is included on our professional package, showing you what developments are active in the area. Project listings, so we can see 11 properties active in this area. This one here, apartment project. It shows you the full configuration of what they're building, what they're doing on this project. And if you click on the contact details, you can actually see who's the architect, the agent, planner, engineers, all the contacts working on that project. So there's a lot of information here for you. I've just gone through it really quickly today. If you would like a further look at the platform, just go to our website, archistar.ai. On the homepage, just click the Get Started button and send through your details for a quick demo. One of us will get in touch with you and run through some specific examples. And don't forget, you also get 10% discount on our professional package as a Planning Institute of Australia member. Thanks very much and speak soon.
Hi, it's Corinna from Engagement Hub. Welcome to our quick presentation on how you can speed up and simplify your end-to-end stakeholder process whilst reaching more stakeholders and streamlining your reporting. Trusted by governments, corporates and not-for-profits across Australia and around the world, Engagement Hub is the only end-to-end stakeholder and community engagement platform. Engagement Hub features over 27 information and participation tools, things like quick polls, surveys, community chat and advanced mapping tools. These provide multiple ways that you can inform and gain feedback from your community and stakeholders and be provided with a variety of in-depth reports. On any planning proposal, whether it be land use strategy, place activation or community plan, strategic stakeholder engagement is at the very core of refining and endorsing the proposal. This is further evidenced by the value PIA place on the stakeholder engagement process in evaluating the submissions for the National Planning Excellence Awards, 2 of which you can see here. Due to the breadth and complexity of planning proposals and strategies, the stakeholder engagement process is likely to attract a divergent community view. At the forefront of planning your consultation process, it is about understanding who your stakeholders are and what are the likely perceived or real benefits or impacts to each stakeholder group or segment, and ultimately how this feedback can be presented in a meaningful way. When you're designing your engagement process, it's really important not to jump straight into designing your consultation, i.e. what tools you might use. It's really important to make sure you go back to steps 1 to 4 as shown on this slide, and I'll talk you through those now. Firstly, the business case. Has the business case been solidified? What are the pros and cons? Do specific stakeholder groups benefit while others may be impacted? Are you able to mitigate or address perceived issues and constraints prior to consultation? Are there any gaps or loose ends? Have you got enough supporting documentation? And is there any legislative things you need to consider? Next, it's important to consider your objectives and your limitations. So, what elements are open for discussion or refinement? How much influence can your stakeholders have in this process? What are the key feedback metrics to be collected? Can you even start to articulate the likely feedback themes? For example, if this was a foreshore development, you may anticipate feedback such as losing a view, amenities, parking, active transport. Considering what those limitations and themes could be ahead of the design is a really important part of the process. Next stage is all about identifying and analysing your stakeholders. So this is a thorough desktop review of all of your stakeholders to identify who needs to participate, who needs to be encouraged to participate. So you're making sure you're seeking that majority view, not just the noisy minority. You also want to start to consider what you perceive their benefits, interests and concerns may be, and then think about how you are going to reach them and encourage them to participate. What methods are you going to use for communication? What methods might you use for engagement? Engagement Hub enables you to capture demographic information and segment your stakeholders, and we'll show you this shortly, and this can be really important as you follow through the process and into reporting. Step 4 is all about validating the work done to date, checking your business case, checking you have your objectives, you know your limitations, and you've thoroughly analysed and identified your stakeholders. Next, you're ready to jump into designing your consultation process. So considering what communication channels you can use to reach a broad range of your stakeholders and those hard to reach stakeholders. Are there any other organisations that you may be able to leverage off? What is your marketing strategy to help reach these people? Then you need to develop any content or supporting materials such as draft strategies, fact sheets, FAQs, and any rich media such as images or videos. Engagement Hub has a variety of tools to enable you to display these, and this really can help with the level of your engagement. Next, you need to determine which tools, both online and offline, you wish to use to engage with your stakeholders and community. Engagement Hub has 15 participation tools, things like surveys, quick polls, budgeting, mapping, community chat, and ideas walls. This means that you can use a variety of means of reaching your audience in different ways. For example, our mapping tools allow users to pin directly on a map, make comments, and approve and comment on each other's comments as well, really giving you a rich amount of data to take forward into your decision-making process. When you're ready to analyse and report on your consultation, utilising leading-edge software like Engagement Hub enables you to analyse feedback online and extract reports with just one click, and you'll hear more about the reporting later. The final and important stage of your consultation design is closing the loop. It's vital for you to acknowledge your stakeholders for investing their time in providing their feedback and showing them exactly how their feedback will be taken forward into the planning process. Through the validation and design stages, it's important to consider how you structure your data, as this is how it will produce meaningful reporting for you. Shown here are some examples of reporting taken directly from Engagement Hub. Using a system such as Engagement Hub allows you to see at a glance during the consultation and of course afterwards to be able to pull reports and to see this data with just one click. Engagement Hub enables you to create bespoke stakeholder registration forms with a range of optional demographic questions which can be displayed or hidden, and the ability to link bespoke stakeholder segments which become meaningful to your consultation. The demographic and segments are all linked within the reporting function. Your stakeholder relationship management system is at the heart of the core of your platform. This system is completely unique to Engagement Hub. We are the only platform or software to include this. This unique system allows you to host not only your online users, but also your offline users in one place. You can import databases from any events or add stakeholders individually. Each stakeholder has a profile, which includes any demographic information you may wish to collect, and the ability for admins to add any additional information. You can download all the individual stakeholders' full history as a PDF and also email individual stakeholders directly from the SRM. Here you can see all of the custom segmentation. So whether users have self-segmented themselves via the registration form or you have segmented them, all of the stakeholders' online activity is automatically recorded in their profile. You can also add any offline activity, such as a note, attendance at an event, or a phone call here. Even a letter submitted can be uploaded. The SRM also features a comprehensive built-in e-newsletter feature, so there's no need for any messy third-party integrations with other software. This full system allows you to segment who you wish to send your e-newsletter to via the segments you created, either in the registration form or within the SRM. So you can target individuals, segments by project, or your whole database. And you can design and save custom templates for your e-newsletters here as well. Running consultations with Engagement Hub is a breeze. From your project list, you can clone projects, preview projects, change the status of the projects, and you can change it to public or private. We are the only platform to include unlimited public or private projects. For each consultation or project, you can include up to 27 information and feedback tools which can be turned off or on anytime during the life cycle of the project. On our demonstration site, you can see a project with all of the tools enabled. However, most clients would typically use on average 10 different tools at the varying stages of consultation. Here you can see some of the most popular tools that are used by planners, such as our interactive image and interactive documents tools. As you can see, you can upload an image and ask for feedback directly on the image. People can then view and see comments by other people and approve, like, or comment back. Our two mapping tools allow users to see geographically an area that you're consulting on, and you can create a bounded area, and to drag predefined pins onto the map and leave comments. The other users can then comment, approve, and like as well. Ideas walls, community chats are great tools for generating ideas and feedback. And of course, a survey is a really classic way to engage. Our comprehensive survey tool has built-in logic, as well as the ability to use images and uploads as part of the survey. In mid-2022, we are also launching a brand new tool which is designed specifically for planners, so stay tuned for that. Many clients take advantage of our built-in text analysis tool. Wherever there is online or offline feedback, this enables you to group it and run consolidated reports. Feedback tag categories and tags can be initially set up within the Insights reporting dashboard. These can always be modified and added to. And throughout the software, new tags can be created to add emerging themes. Tagging is available for all online and offline feedback. As feedback is submitted, you can tag it at any time, meaning you can track the sentiment and report back on the consultation sooner. A light grey icon indicates that the feedback has not been tagged, and a dark grey icon indicates the feedback has already been tagged. You can download a CSV file including all the user's demographic information, segmentation and feedback to download throughout each of the feedback widgets. You can also log offline feedback received through the Stakeholder Relationship Management system, which I'll show you now. Tagging or sentiment analysis or text analysis is a great way for you to start capturing and understanding any themes or ideas or issues that are coming through your consultation already as it's underway, and vastly helps when reporting afterwards. The in-depth reporting functionality is another major reason people choose Engagement Hub. Besides the detailed CSV files downloadable for each feedback tool per consultation, there are over 25 different reports available in Engagement Hub. Starting at your reporting summary dashboard, this provides high-level information on your site and for individual projects. Clicking into each individual project opens up a list on the right of all current activity that has happened on the project. The Generate Project Report. This handy Word document pulls together all the activity on your consultations, and this can be done by project or across the whole site. The Stakeholder Relationship Management reports include a full governance audit trail of everything that has happened on the site, internally and externally. The Insights dashboard provides you with 15 graphical reports on a range of topics. If you are utilising stakeholder segmentation and text analysis, this is where the magic happens. Our reporting system automatically turns all of your tags from your qualitative comments into quantitative data. You can also apply demographic filters such as gender, suburb, household, or age. Our text analysis cross-tabulated reports allow you to see the feedback from the various stakeholder groups, the segments that you created within the SRM. So you can see what different groups are saying about the same opportunity or issue. All reports can be downloaded as a CSV or a PDF or JPEG file. Another great tool to visually display your data is our Generate Phrase Clouds report. This means you can clearly see what the dominant themes were within the feedback and visually display this within your reporting. Contact our team of dedicated stakeholder engagement experts for a tailored demonstration, proposal, or our competitor analysis PDF. You could be up and running with an Engagement Hub site in as little as 3 days and be benefiting from the most comprehensive software, improved efficiencies and cost savings on the market.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have Michelle Bloom with me now, who is the Director of Ethical, who is one of our Member Services Program partners. So we're just having a chat today. Michelle's going to tell us what the Ethical is all about and how it can assist you guys as PIA members. So Michelle, welcome.
Thank you, Karen, for having me. And I'm delighted to talk about the Ethical service because it is such a unique service globally, actually, and obviously within Australia.
Yes, we're delighted to be partnering with you, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity to let everybody know that you're out there. So can you tell me a little bit about the Ethics Centre for beginning?
Yeah, sure. So the Ethics Centre was started 30 years ago, and it's a not-for-profit organisation, and Ethical is one of the services that we offer. And our purpose is really to bring ethics to the centre of everyday life. So we do that in a number of ways. So we work with schools, primary ethics. Some people might be familiar with that program. We also have the Festival of Dangerous Ideas, which is a festival, to bring, opposing perspectives together to discuss that. And we have ethical as well as professional services as well, where we work with organisations to really build their ethical capital. But Ethical is what we're here to talk about. And what that is a free, confidential decision-making helpline to help people navigate decisions, tricky decisions where they often are stuck or don't know what to do or feel torn in two different directions. And the service has really been set up to support people to work that through. So just to be aware, we don't give advice, but we do ask questions. And we've developed over 30 years a particular way of working with those questions and people to help them find the best solutions for them and their particular circumstance. So it's a very, very unique service in that regard, in that it's a philosophical counselling service as opposed to a psychological counselling service, which is has quite a different underpinning.
So that would be the major difference to other counselling services?
Yeah, I think the philosophical counselling service, sort of is built on philosophy and the Socratic method, and the Socratic method being questions and questions of curiosity and questions of character and values and so forth that really help people to understand what is the best decision for them. So that's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is this restricted just to the professional environment, or can it be utilised within professional environment as well, personal environment?
Yeah, great question. So we have about 50-50. So people will often call us who are having a personal dilemma. So whether it's a relationship breakdown, or we often have questions around conflicts that people are having personally, but professionally as well. So often people call us anywhere from chairmen and board members to executive teams to people who work within an organisation who are struggling with an ethical dilemma. So to give you some examples of the kinds of calls that we get, it could be things like conflicts of interest, and people aren't sure how to do that. It could be, do I whistleblow? And the consequences, thinking through the consequences of doing that, and using the whistleblowing hotlines that exist in organisations now. Things like navigating loyalty to the organisation versus duty to self. So people, particularly during COVID, have been asked to go above and beyond what they would normally do, and so really helping people think through, you know, the trade-offs that are often, you know, that exist within those kinds of decisions people have to make. And then from personal decisions such as parenting, so you know, navigating the parenting dilemmas, and particularly through COVID, we had a lot of employers contact us to work through the issues of vaccination and return to work as well. So they have been some of the kind of key issues that people and individuals also calling about their own vaccination dilemmas with family themselves, and navigating those decisions. So it is a mixture of personal and professional dilemmas that people call us about.
Fantastic, because we all know that all parts of our lives integrate as one, and it's very hard to segregate them into each individual one. And if you're struggling in one area of your life, sometimes you just need someone to chat it through and see have a bit of direction and assistance.
Absolutely. And I think that the difference between what Ethical offers and some of the other counselling services is we don't give advice. We're very impartial, so our role is not to pass judgment on what people are struggling with, but to offer that impartial perspective and ask the questions and really help people work through where they are stuck and the ethical dimensions of that. So when I say the ethical dimensions, it's usually some number of important values that are conflicted. And so it's really working through what is most important here and what are my duties and responsibilities. Issues of character, you know, what do I think is most important to consider, and who do I need to consider in the decision? So it's a very structured process to help people work that through. And the impartiality, I think, is a really critical ingredient that people find most supportive. Yeah,
definitely. I can see there that you just sometimes need that assistance to get out of your own head. And
exactly.
With the structure you've got in place will help people see the way forward. Almost.
Yeah, exactly. And people often get stuck, and often people turn to friends or family or, you know, wise advisors and mentors, and sometimes they're just not as available given, you know, the current conditions, you know, which we're living through. And it's often good to get that outside perspective, someone who doesn't know us, who doesn't have a bias in how, you know, where they're seeing the situation. So I think that's another added advantage of using an ethical counsellor. And our counsellors go through extensive training and supervision to ensure that their practice is you know, really impartial and removing of bias, which often, you know, has people, you know, move in certain directions, whether it's their own bias or influenced by others in terms of, you know, the different decisions they need to make.
Yes, yeah, I think that can be very important to make that difference there and have that outside view. Are there any costs in using Ethical, Michelle?
No, Ethical is a free service. We offer to everybody. We get calls internationally, so calls from India and America, and particularly through COVID, we saw the calls internationally increase, and it's a national service, and it's the only service in the world. There are ethics hotlines for professional groups that you know, offer particular advice, you know, whether it's for accountants or lawyers or that kind of thing, but Ethical for everybody, it's the only service that exists. So it's free to everyone. We fund it through generous donations from our members, which is fantastic. That allows us to do this, and we just expanded the number of counsellors actually to meet the demand that we're having as our world gets more complex and people are really struggling with the complexity of the decisions they need to make. And as you say, the crossover between professional and personal is getting blurred. So, you know, having that outside, you know, voice to bounce ideas off and perspectives and consider options is a really, you know, sort of helpful thing to do in the times in which we're living.
Yeah, what an amazing service. And I, for one, until I found you ladies, I had no idea that this was out there. So I'm sure this will be a big help to PIA members as well. Anybody in that fact that doesn't need to just be a PIA member for this one. But how do we make bookings, Michelle?
So you're able to book in. So it's a booking system that we use. So if you get onto the Ethics Centre website, which is the ethicscentre.org.au, and you can go to the Ethical page and book in for a time. So we have 1 hour slots. It takes an hour to work through the process of a call, and we have availability 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 9:30 at night. So you can book in at a time that works for you, where you have an hour that you can really sit down and consider and reflect on the decision you need to make. So it's a fantastic service in that you can book it ahead of time. Generally, it takes, you know, a couple of days to a week or so in order to get in. But we have such fabulous feedback about how people experience the service and how helpful it is for them to navigate, you know, the dilemma that they have.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think to be able to, you know, book that in, if you're just working through something and you can't get to the end of it, give you guys a call, book in via the website, give you guys a call and have a chat. Can you do numerous calls, or is it limited to one per person? Or
no, we often find sometimes one is enough, one call, and then people have kind of developed the right kinds of, you know, questions to ask themselves when they are stuck again. But we have people who come back, you know, time and time again, whether to continue to work through the same issue or a new issue. So I know, you know, looking at the statistics that we do have a number of repeat callers who think of you know, get stuck again and think, oh, you know, I'll use the service to really help me work that through. And I think one of the key issues that a number of people are struggling with is this issue of moral injury. So moral injury is where we either witness or experience a situation where a decision's made that really goes against our values, and we feel quite injured through not knowing what to do, not knowing how to deal with that situation. Often you find that with healthcare workers, particularly in COVID situations, but also with situations such as workplace bullying, where people are witnessing or experiencing that, but you know, are kind of reluctant to report it because of the consequences, but it is causing them moral injury, and not knowing how to navigate that, or feeling complicit if they're witnessing it, you know, in what's happening. So the ethical service is used extensively for helping people work that through, about what action they want to take, what are their options, in order to really prevent that moral injury and mental health issues that result from, you know, witnessing or experiencing decisions that didn't quite align to, you know, how we thought it would play out, or what people are experiencing. So I think that is a really unique aspect of the service as well. And I think the times in which we're living are creating more of that sort of moral injury, because they are so much more complex, the complexities and people's, you know, understanding about, you know, what's okay and what's not okay anymore, and what we're seeing in terms of workplaces and the cultures and what we're expecting from our workplace cultures now. I think the standards lifting, we're not willing to witness what previously we might have or experienced. And so, you know, really working that through as an employee, or as, you know, a manager or a leader within an organisation is really helpful to get clear and reflect on what's important here.
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, that will just filter through all areas of your life. And I think one session with you guys would almost show you a bit of a pathway of questions asked that you could use in every element of your life as well when another dilemma pops up, because they do pop up pretty regularly, let's face it.
They do. It's surprising once you're aware of how many. I mean, ethics and ethical decision making is really just, making choices about living a meaningful life. So it's like, how do you make decisions aligned to your values? And we know that when people do that, they experience greater happiness, greater fulfillment. And so that's really what we're talking about, is how do you really make decisions aligned to your values so that you can live a meaningful life? So that obviously applies to both your personal and professional life.
Definitely. Yeah, if you can really come to peace with different things that may be outside of your control, or what actions you want to make with those, I think that's great. And again, how your counsellors don't necessarily provide the advice, they give you the tools to work through it, which I think is invaluable.
Yeah, to come to the right decision for you, because we don't know everyone's circumstances, and only that it's very empowering in that sense, as the person is very empowered that they know the best solutions, and that it's asking the right questions to get to the right solutions for them and their context and the people involved. That I think is incredibly empowering and honouring of the individual, as opposed to giving advice, which is really perhaps not the best solution for that person.
That's right. Everyone's got advice for you, hasn't it?
Everyone's got an opinion, as they say.
That's right. So you do need to kind of try and forge your own way through. So this is just an amazing service, and thank you. We are delighted to partner with you and have it out there in the general public as well, that your service is there. So from us to you, we do say thank you very much for providing such an amazing service. I'm sure it will be utilised a lot, and we can certainly find out more about it either via the ethics
website, the Ethics Centre website.
Which is
theethicscentre.org.au.